Mano or Dad or Mr. and Mrs. G, just go ahead and just.
Oh,
Yeah, fast. Wow. Oh my God.
This is,
oh man.
I don't know if I can give a nice political answer like she just gave.
He told me to check out some church. And I'm like, his name, I couldn't think of his name. And then I started describing him more and more. She's talking, you talking to, I think you talked to the pastor. I'm like, nah, that man was way too chill to be a pastor. I'm like, ain't no way. I'm like, pastors usually come up with a certain image. I'm like, nah, at the time, it didn't look like no pastor, didn't talk like one. Sure enough, went to the church. After she performed, I'm like, that's the dude. He was on stage. That's the dude. She's on some fool. You met the pastor. I'm like, oh. And then what happened after that? Brittany started teaching me about the Bible and whatnot, dove deep into it, about how the demons are out there to get you and all that.
Oh my God.
Like, you was teaching me about like the spiritual demons, how like they show up in different faces and different disguises.
Forms, yeah.
And she was teaching me scriptures. She'll start sending me scriptures every morning. And then over time, I started going to church on my own, believe it or not. So then we started going together every Sunday. She'll send me morning scriptures every morning. And then as times that we didn't go, we will see that we're drifting apart slowly. It'll be random things that we just start disagreeing on. We can have a hard Sunday night, but best believe Sunday morning get here, we all dressed, we ready to go to church. Still not talking, of course. The church is going on, we're like, well, dang, that message really was about us somehow.
Yeah.
Then we get together, express how we feel, express how the sermon touched us, and then all that. Church definitely saved and helped our marriage by far. But before we got married too.
Yeah. I think we noticed that issues start to arise when, instead of it being, whether it's girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, husband and wife, when we was in marriage counseling, the first thing it said, it is you, your partner, and God. And I noticed where a lot of the issues where we had came in, we started replacing God with family members. We started replacing God with mother and father because they were married for the 14 years, and you start replacing with the auntie and uncle because they was married for such and such, and your mom and dad, and everybody else started putting in their input into our marriage, and then they started replacing God, and then that's when things started to go left.
Yeah,
it went left, and I'm not saying that, you don't listen to your elders and this,
of course
and the
not,
third.
yeah.
But one thing about it is everybody's relationship is completely different, and they're all formed in different ways. And what you can't do is allow other people's, how their relationship looks, start to influence what you're supposed to be doing over here. And that's where we ended up having a little problems. But like he said, when we went back to church and we got back on our praying and we kept it me, him, and God, that's when everything started going back full circle. So yeah, God is definitely needed, and one thing about it is He'll show you when you stop talking to Him.
Girl.
He is gonna let you know, like, hey, where did you go?
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's something that we implemented very early in our relationship as well. A big part of that was because of where we work. They're very nosy. They'll get their way into what you got going on and do their best to split it up if you got something good going on. So it seemed like all day long people just at us. As soon as they figured out that we started talking. So just a little personal rule we have. We don't talk about our relationship with anybody. If anybody asks, how's your wife? She's great. How was yours?
Exactly.
Oh, you don't have one? Oh, okay, my bad. My fault. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks for asking. I appreciate it.
Right.
But yeah, when they start asking too many questions, or sometimes people will see that your energy might be a little off. I might stub my toe or something. You looked at my face. You know my face is like that. But yeah, I always talk about my wife in the highest respect. Even if, we're having a little squabble. So I always respect my wife.
And I think the biggest thing is too, you cannot trust anybody. Not saying that you can't trust nobody, but I wouldn't open that door to anybody because everybody got that person that they trust, their best friend that's not gonna keep them, that's not gonna close their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, the moment you open
About
up,
it, talk
the moment you open up your mouth and start to tell this one little friend this one little thing, next thing you know, they done went off and told the story wrong to the next person.
Mhm.
Now you going around friend groups and everybody looking at you funny because they in your business and don't
Mhm.
really know the story.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole game of cup phone.
Yet playing telephone and the conversation won't even for you. You wasn't even supposed to pick up the phone in the first place. So
So do y'all keep y'all issues and stuff literally between just y'all two and God?
just us two and God. Like, we don't even put parents in the mix. Not at all.
You can't.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not supposed to.
Mhm.
And they mean, and that's one thing too. Parents definitely do mean well, but you have to definitely understand, if you're not at the stage where you are married yet, they're only going to be looking at their child,
right.
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. They're not going to be looking at you two together. They're not going to be looking at, oh, this is the person of their love of their life, and none of that, because you got to realize that that parent watched them grow up and probably go through plenty of different relationships and talk to plenty of different people. So to
Mhm.
them, you're just a number.
Yeah.
Number on the list.
That's probably different on Mike though. If some probably went down, they'd be like, yeah, it was precious.
What is it at?
Love. Everybody love you. They won't, Mike.
That is my guy.
That is right. Nah, I love you so much, baby. Couldn't imagine a day without you.
Oh yeah, we stuck for life, baby.
Not stuck.
So maybe.
Joined.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to them standards a little bit, because I remembered. Only thing about the little, I don't want to say squabble, but you were a little upset with me because of Kirsten's podcast when I had mentioned you not being my
Oh, you want to bring that
my
up?
type.
Talk about it then. Let me tell the story.
Popcorn.
You look like I got to call my answer this one.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to you, but you tell me how you would feel.
Wait, hold on, time out. This is for educational purposes only, guys.
Hey,
I help you
baby.
guys out, show you how we work through stuff. Okay, go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
So we would miss out of like, okay, because you don't miss out of what when we was ATL, or just like the podcast.
They don't have an ATL.
When I brought it up out of nowhere.
Oh, if you want.
Well, basically, I'll just talk about the podcast. On the podcast, he said something like, "Yeah, she wasn't my type that I was looking for." But what you say after that?
It's your story, baby. How you remembered it?
You brought it up.
It's your story, baby. How you remembered it?
But basically, he said, I wasn't his type, and he wasn't what I was looking. I wasn't what he was looking for, but God knew what he needed. That's how he fixed it up. I'm gonna go on the ATL a little bit. So it was an ATL, and it came up in my mind out of nowhere for some reason, and I was like, "Yeah, I remember how you said in our sister podcast, Kay, that I wasn't your type, and his type is usually light skin." She's either light skin, definitely, and I'm going by what I've seen, who I've seen him with, his exes. Light skin, smaller than me. So I was like, so you wasn't attracted to me when we first got together? He was like, he was trying to fix it up in a way, but was like, basically, but he ended up basically saying like, no, but he was like, I married you. God knew what I needed. Basically, the type that I wanted wasn't what I needed. But I'm thinking like, so then how do you view me if I'm not the type that you usually would be attracted to? How do you feel about that, Brittany? If your man said, "No, you want my type," but hey, God said you what I needed.
So
I'm not worrying like that.
That's how it was.
I will say this. Originally hearing it immediately, I would feel some type of way. But I think one thing as us as females, we tend to kind of make up our own scenarios in our own head.
I didn't say it.
And Rico tells me this all the time because, to be completely honest, and this ain't nothing against them, men don't be that deep. They really true, and as bad as that sounds, they really truly do not be that deep. They don't really truly consider where you could possibly end up going when they say certain things.
Right.
They're just immediately thinking the first thing that comes into their head, which is, I have a wife. This is who I love. This is really truly what I needed. I was looking for something else. He's not thinking, okay, well, I'm looking for the light-skinned chick that look like this, and this is really truly what I want. That's not what he's thinking of. He's thinking, I'm probably just looking for a good time type of female, something I can just deal with for right now, but I really truly needed something else that was more grounded. Sometimes men don't know how to properly express what they're thinking while also still thinking about their partners at the same time, because we're more emotional.
Yeah.
So we're going to think deep into whatever we can.
Girl, I was thinking deep.
Facts.
We're going to start thinking about everything. We're going to be, okay, well, if he done came up with this and he done brought this together, then that means back when we was together around here, he done came up with that, and
So
then
you
won't talk
just-
about that.
So
You done.
just settle for me.
Right, like, Buddy didn't even think about it. He was just like, look, I was hungry. I wanted this, and that was it.
Right.
That's actually
But-
extremely accurate,
That's
Loki.
a good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good breakdown.
And but I think we really truly have to learn as female to not think about what we're thinking and kind of think about what men are thinking, because we are completely different. We're totally different species. We may connect, but we have two totally different mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes it can be a little bit unfair to be like, why wasn't your mindset like my mindset? Why weren't you thinking that this would hurt my feelings the way I'm thinking this is hurting my feelings? So I can see why you would be upset, because I would have thought the same thing and he probably would have had some words. But but I do think it take a second to kind of put it in his shoes and just kind of be like, okay, he just had his foot in his mouth and he
Right.
just didn't know what he was trying to say, even though he was not trying to say it like that.
And I definitely, it's weird, but I mean, I can honestly agree, because God kind of shut me up with that conversation. I remember a time when, I don't even know if I ever told you this, but I think it was when you was trying to pursue me. Part of me was hesitant because my past and how I was hurt, and I didn't want to really just fully give in to you. But I think also how we talked about earlier, when I pictured my husband, I didn't picture my husband to be or look like how you look. Not that I didn't think he was handsome.
I didn't say that loud.
I'm just saying. But I even remember one time she could call me. She was like, "So what's holding you back? Is it maybe because it's not what? Is it because of the way he looks?" I was like, "Dang, I never thought about it like that." But like we said earlier, I think it's sometimes how we build up in our minds how our husband's going to look like, how he's going to be, and then when he's actually presented to us, we're like, "Oh no, this can't be it, because this ain't what I pictured." So in a way, I can kind of see where you was coming from with the light skinned chick thing, but I was selling my feelings.
Didn't word it that way. The way she said it again is not. I'm gonna get a clip from Kirsten's podcast. I'm gonna give a little playback. It's gonna be right there on the screen.
But hold on. But when we was in the call up, you literally agreed with what I said.
He probably accidentally agreed to. He
Yeah,
probably
I probably
did
did,
not
yeah.
realize
I
he agreed.
I did for real.
So I was like, "So I'm not the type you're really attracted to." He was like, "No."
We go.
I knew what I needed. I was like, "Oh."
I know exactly what happened there. That's why he laughing. We know exactly what happened there.
But I feel like any woman would be like, "Dang, so how did you end up with me if I'm not what you're attracted to?" I really feel like I was validated in that situation.
Your feelings are definitely validated. Let's
Yeah.
be very clear for that one.
And then in the conversation, this was on an anniversary trip too, so it was just kind of got a little weird. Energy was weird. So I'm in that moment, I'm thinking like, I was waiting here like, but baby, you know what? I am attracted to you. You are beautiful. you are someone who I would want. Not once did you ever say that.
I'm not trying to get a little bit too personal, but the night before we literally just have fun. I'll just say have fun. I've been holding her hand all day, hugging her, kissing on her, doing all those great things. And I also told you that you kept bringing up that. What did you say? You said if I'm not your type, then what did you say? Well, I'm forgetting
If
your
I'm
words.
not your type, then I basically said, why did you marry me then? That was pretty much it.
I forgot. It's so long ago.
No, that was it.
Brain's a little blurry.
I don't know. I was like, am I tripping the way I'm feeling? But okay. So Rico, so how would you feel if Brittany came to you and be like, "No, you weren't my type for real, but hey, God knew you was the
what
one."
21 Savage say? I ain't Mr. Right, but I'm Mr. Right now.
But even when you asked me that question after, like you asked me and vice versa, I was like, okay. Even if you just said I wasn't your type, or necessarily what you pictured, that didn't bother me. I don't care. You're with me now.
Yeah.
So all that to me is so what?
Well, I guess
But
like what Brittany said.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't
I
care.
guess y'all like the logical type
Same
of
thing.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you now. You're with me all the time, loving on you, kissing you. You with me every night, baby. Nobody else.
I need you to affirm me though. Like, yeah, light skins was my type, but you definitely won. You're beautiful.
Guys,
You're brown skin, but you're beautiful.
The butt is crazy.
Light skins were cool, but they weren't what I needed, man. They weren't for me. They weren't my wife. You're my wife. So obviously my type that I had in my head wasn't for me. That's what I said, actually, now that I think about it. But now hearing what you just said, I see how that can be discombobulated.
That's the thing. Guys are more so with action. You see what they do, know that's what they mean. A lot of times they don't know how to put things into words. Like, and I tried to explain that to Rico, like sometimes you still have to say stuff to me. You still have to tell me things. You still have to let me know. It's still great to hear it. I can see it all day and I'm not negating it to be like, well, I just did this, that. I just bought you flowers. What do you mean?
Right.
Yes.
I'm not negating that. I'm not saying what you did didn't show it, but I still would like to hear it.
And I think that's what I was looking for. Yeah.
And that's what I had to tell him. I said, if he get on my nerves, I said, if you walk around all the time and nobody ever told you were handsome, even though I may kiss you and love on you, do you still feel like you'll be handsome even if no one ever told you?
But the thing about that is, I know how Rico is. I know how I am too. We say it to y'all all the time. But just that in those particular moments,
in that
moment,
I needed to hear it.
And from our point of view, that seems kind of forced. Like if you're like you just said, light skins aren't my type or whatever. Tell me I'm beautiful, blah blah blah. That feels kind of forced in the moment. So I feel like if I would have said, "Hey, you're beautiful," you would have been like, "Or you're just saying it because I told you that."
Yeah.
I don't feel like that. So that's why I didn't. Or I mean, from my point of view, I don't feel like it was right thing to say at the moment because if it was forced, it wasn't natural. But I tell you all the time.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't say it in the moment doesn't mean that I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, now kind of really listening to it from that standpoint, it's really like she wants to hear your voice over the voice she's hearing in her head.
This girl right here got some brains, baby. This girl preaching, yes. Because in my head, I'm thinking like, man, he just like light skinned girls, this, that, and the third. I need you to speak over those insecure thoughts that I was having, and I didn't get it, so I was kind of angry. I was
negating literally everything you were saying, but even if I said something, you just went back to the original point.
But you never said that, love.
Because it would have been forced. If I would have said it, I know exactly what you would have said back. You would have been like, "Oh, you're just saying it because I just said what I just said." So
I don't know. You can't speak on what didn't happen, love.
Oh man,
that is crazy though, because that happens to us too. That's why he over here laughing so hard. But I never realized that's what I do until I see it from someone
Right.
else.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That is very
We gotta debate you first, and then we gotta get the person inside your head. It's hard. It's 1 versus 2 at that point. I'm getting jumped.
I need to talk to both of us.
And it has to be perfect. Yeah, it
Yep,
has to
you ever
be
said the
perfect.
exact right thing. If I slip up even a little bit in my wording, I know this.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna be right.
I feel the exact same.
I don't want to say something that's gonna be offensive.
Right.
Even me saying what I say about the podcast, like I said, in my mind, that's normal. I don't, but I get what you're saying though at the same time. But it just wouldn't bother you.
But honestly, that's why it's really good to have a great connection with God, because at that point, that wasn't what you said. She's at a spiritual warfare at that point. She's dealing with the insecurities within her. The devil done finally got into her head and told her that she was not this light-skinned, skinny chick that she's supposed to be. So now she's fighting with the devil.
And this our little anniversary. This our anniversary weekend. It's what's coming up.
But the devil done got into her, then creeped in so much. Now she's in a spiritual warfare and she needs help.
Hmm.
So at that point, you probably yourself wouldn't be able to come up with the right word. And at that point, you needed to pray to God and say, what do I need to say to her to reaffirm her? Because I obviously don't have it, because this is something outside of me.
Mhm.
But it's also in that moment. Like, you gotta think fast. That's hard.
But like she said, I feel like like she said, it's important, I guess, to be, not to say that you're not, but connected with God in that type of way to know how to move forward in this situation.
But in those moments too, I'm dealing with my own emotions.
Yeah.
Why are you upset now? You know, it was very random. It was
It was random.
no context. We were having a nice day. I'm driving down the street. It's beautiful. We're having a great time.
It came to me out of
Now
nowhere.
all of
I
a
ain't gonna lie.
sudden, the flip just switched. I'm like, whoa, why did this just happen?
Question: what was y'all doing when it came to your mind? Because I mean, it may seem like it was random, but it could have been something that you were doing that could have triggered it.
I was just driving. We were driving to the next location, next destination.
You could have just been thinking about it though.
Yeah, I don't know why it just instantly dropped in my mind. I was just
Well, nobody was around. I was just on the road, just at a light.
Because that's the funny thing too. Triggers they be sneaky. It could have been
Yeah.
easily just a song talking about the bartender looking at the girl over there, and now you like, who is the girl? Who am I the girl now? Because I remember he said I'm not the girl I'm supposed to be. Or somebody could have just been walking past, light skinned chick, curly hair. Now I'm looking at you like, did you look at Shorty that just walked past?
it could have been something like that. It could have been something like that.
No, wasn't nobody even on the road, huh?
I'm saying that.
Oh, okay.
Because in the podcast when it happened, I heard it and I was like, oh dang, but I never addressed it. So maybe I should have addressed it when I felt
Felt it.
yeah, instead of waiting for the time. But hey, things happen.
Hey, it happens, y'all. Hey,
Bounce back.
nobody's perfect. Hey, we're still together and strong.
Absolutely.
I almost said something wild on this podcast,
I'm
but
still brown skin.
yep, and beautiful.
And
Thick
this-
too. Yes, sir.
Hey, yo.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
But it was something that was nice to work through. Very nice to work through.
Yeah.
You're gonna work through stuff when you're married.
Mhm.
You're gonna work through stuff with your parents, work through stuff with your friends, you're gonna work through stuff. It'll be challenges no matter what. So
Mhm.
it's about a desire that you have and you want to get through it. And like you said as well, always relying on God. And like she made that great point, even that moment it would have been great for me to pray, and, try and lean on God. But like I said, I wasn't in the right mind frame for that. So some things are easier said than done in the moments.
That
Oh,
is
yeah,
very
true.
true. Yeah.
But this is very eye-opening, I guess, for all of us. Because you never know what's going on in somebody's head.
Mhm.
For all of us.
Mhm.
But how do you guys incorporate time to yourself now that you spend a lot more time together?
You have to be very intentional about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Like, for example, if I get off of work and I have a hard day at work, I'll send her a text message. I'm like, hey, it's up there at work, long day at work, it was hot, I'm irritated. I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna let my frustrations out then. I'm not gonna text you when I'm at the gym, but I will call you on my way home. But especially if it's hot outside, I'm already irritated. If you see me mad, like when it's hot outside, like if you see me mad, it's not because of you at all. Like if it's time for yourself, yeah, you gotta make that.
Y'all don't understand how seriously mad this man get when he on screens hot outside.
Oh man.
Oh my god, that's a whole nother thing. Just know his AC had ran out of his car one time, and he was sweating, and he just looked so mad. I said, "Babe," I said, "Hey, you okay?" I'm good.
My fault.
Oh,
So okay. But no, seriously, being intentional is a real big thing. Definitely scheduling out your time and scheduling out dates.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's just watching a movie or spending a little time to take a nap together, which actually no, I'm not gonna say that because okay. Because we have done that before where we like have little movie nights, but I always fall asleep or he always fall asleep. And then it's like at that point, it's not
it's usually you, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
okay.
So
That's
like Mike boy.
What's that like me?
I'm always falling asleep first.
Okay.
But to me, I don't feel like if we're sleeping, I don't feel like we really truly spending
Connecting.
time with each other. We
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So definitely trying to find dates because that's something we're still trying to adjust to.
Mhm.
With him, working far, we just moved in a different location, so time has changed. And then with him working on, his fitness and his business, now he has to carve out time for business, carve out time for his personal life, carve out time for work,
Mhm.
carve out time for sleep, carve out time for his health. At that point, we really truly have no choice but to make a schedule
Mhm.
to do everything.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really.
you have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think that we're good at that, baby? Being intentional with the time that we spend together.
I would say so, yeah. What you mean in time apart?
Basically, kind of like the time we spend together. Like, do we use it effectively? Like, are we actually like bonding together? Yeah, or are we?
On our phones.
Yeah.
I think we got I think we're in a good place. Mm-hmm.
Have you always been that way, or did it just kind of develop?
From the start, I think personally,
Yeah.
we spend every Sunday together. She stay up all night at work on Saturday, go to church in the morning on Sunday morning. Then that Sunday afternoon, we go on a date together. Just do something.
Not really on our phones on that.
Yeah, this always be our rule. Well, it still is now. If we have a table together, eating or something.
Yeah,
Phones.
no phones.
Absolutely.
No
Gone.
phones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Gotta
no
communicate.
phones.
Enjoy each other.
So how do y'all find times for like self?
So finding time for yourself. That's usually like, let me know what's going on. If you got something, you going through something, let me know. You ain't gotta tell me what's going on. Just like, hey, boo, not feeling the best right now, spiritually, mentally, physically. I just need time to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, cool. I can respect that. You still your own person. Even though we married, you still your own person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm here whenever you're ready. I'm not gonna force you to talk, but when you ready, come get me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know.
I'm with that. Oh,
I think it's been helpful since we've been in our new place, since we have an extra room. So he's able to go into his room and have time with his guys, and they play on the game and they talk, or he'll go in there and he'll have time for himself watching his videos.
mm-hmm.
Definitely having his own separate space helps.
Yeah.
So how'd you learn to really please each other?
In what way?
That's up for you to decide, I guess.
Like, are we talking like sexually?
Hey, answer however you feel. Have you said that question first? Go with that answer.
Boo, you got that one.
Whoa.
Yes, sir.
You got that one, boo.
We didn't discuss that one.
I don't know which one we talking about. Which one come to your mind?
We talking. You said, "How do we please?"
Mm-hmm. Take it sexually. Forget it. We're talking about sex so much anyway.
A little bit of that sex.
Yeah, it's just a wee bit.
Go a little dirty.
Okay, so sexually, woo.
You want me to take it? You got it. I feel like you got it. I'm rooting for you.
I'm in your corner.
I had
Sound like
to
Shaq
laugh.
for a second.
I would say the main thing is, as far as sexually go, is just kind of. I mean, it's kind of like patience and working through it, and just kind of talking with each other, learning each other's love language. You know, figuring out do's and don'ts. Because I mean, everybody's different. So certain things that you may be into, another person may not be into. So it's just really truly learning your partner, I guess you could say.
It's a very mature answer.
Wow.
That's the most political answer you can do.
Yep. Without getting too grave, but yeah,
It's a
right in the middle.
answer.
All right, baby, what you think?
I'm gonna ask you.
No. What you think, baby? Nose goes. Nose goes.
Gotta be
Nose
quick.
goes.
No
Yeah,
games.
baby.
He beat you to the punch.
I need to bite off of you, baby. You go first.
No problem for me.
It's a good question.
This is crazy.
Good question.
Let's get
Hello.
that conversation started, definitely.
Mano, or Dad, or Mr. and Mrs. D, just go ahead and just.
Yeah, fast.
Wow. Oh my God.
This is,
Oh, man.
I don't know if I can give a nice political answer like she just gave. I'll definitely say, you know, trial and error for sure. Trying some things, you know, you hear, ooh, then probably shouldn't be doing that. I mean, unless.
We just gotta get rid of
This is.
gotta talk about
I ain't gonna hold y'all. I like my mom when it comes to sex. I do not like talking about it. Like my dad will talk about it, or like her parents, stuff like that.
My
But me
mama will, but
personally,
my daddy won't.
yeah, I'm not gonna do it. It is very uncomfortable. That's why in the podcast I say a little bit because I really do mean a little bit.
Yeah.
But just trial and error. They actually do something, you know, try it out for them if you are capable.
Yeah.
You're married, so as my mom always says, whatever you guys do, well, not always. I don't want to make it sound like she's just talking about sex every day. You're not.
Oh, man.
But
So that bed is undefiled.
yep, that basically means whatever y'all do is in between you and your partner. Ain't nobody else's business what y'all do. So if you want to get chained to the ceiling fan, you can turn on and tickle your toes when you go around. Hey,
That's your business.
that's your business. Yeah, it's up to you. If I was going to keep it plain Jane and just hold hands until the bird comes through with the baby, hey,
That's still your business.
Not
still your
the
business. So I think that's the best way to learn your partner. You just gotta try stuff, trial and error. Just
The funny thing is, I think the reason why is like you kind of like stepping on eggshells when it comes to sex. I think that's a growing up in the church thing. Like, sex in church was just always like it's forbidden. You just don't do it. So
yeah, don't talk about it.
yeah. So it's like when it comes time to talk about it, it's like even when it's okay and God say it's okay for me to do it, it kind of feel wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel right to me.
First, let's say God is good.
Oh my God! Oh my!
He gave specific parts for a specific reason.
This man is wild. This man is wild.
I will say it's very important to a relationship because without that one act, you're just kind of like friends.
So here's
Really?
Let's see a question here. Like,
I think so.
how many? So
You gonna really break the ice for this one?
it's just like it's a hot question a little bit. How many times is too? Like, what's too little and what's too much? As far as times of doing it.
Depends on your sexual drive. Some people want to do it every single day, multiple times a day. That ain't me personally.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Full-time job, you're tired.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
in
get
the mood
your.
all the time.
Okay.
But like I said, it just depends. I mean, sometimes it might happen for a whole week straight, and it might not happen the next week at all, or it might happen, every other day or every 2 days. It just depends.
I wonder how they work that out though. For somebody who has a sex drive that they're willing to do it every day, and somebody who's just like,
Right.
I'm good once a month. Like, you don't gotta mess with me.
So has there ever been times where y'all was like, I'm not really feeling this, but my man or my woman wants this, so
Yes.
Yes.
let me.
yes.
Yes.
Let me please him or her.
Yes.
You
How
go
about you,
down
baby?
deep into that? Oh, they got it.
I might be real tired, but I'm still down.
Yeah, you got to provide.
Yeah. I might be like deadbeat tired. Long day, I worked out, been at work, overtime,
I know.
haven't talked to people and deal with people, for lack of better words. They might watch the podcast, so I don't want to say nothing crazy. You gotta keep your friends and your enemies close, both of
Yeah.
them. But yeah, I don't know, never mind. It's always great to me personally. I don't know about you. I'll be vibing.
Yeah, I can kind of agree. Sometimes I might be like a little sleepy, but my husband might be a little rubby dubby. I'm like, oh, he in the mood. Let me give it up.
Oh my God. That's
Oh,
real though.
Yeah, that's definitely
So I'm
real.
like, I want to please my husband. So, I mean, after the acts are done, I'm like, yeah, that's my man right there.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
All this might get cut out.
Yeah.
No, I love keeping it in
Yeah,
there.
you get it. That's the sexy
Yeah.
scenes.
Keeping it real.
My toes are not unclenched since it started. Very uncomfortable.
How about y'all? Y'all be. Yeah, what y'all say? Y'all don't really be. Let me not speak for y'all. What y'all be
You
feeling?
want that? You got that.
No, you got that. You talk about it. You got it.
I say like, what was the question first? I don't
Like,
want to start talking just to talk.
So there have been times where one of y'all may not really been feeling it, but wanted to please your partner and just gave
Yeah.
in.
Like that.
I say for me. I know it's for you, but I'll speak on my behalf. Every time when you don't be in the mood, but as the man, you feel like, shoot, I gotta provide. I gotta try. I'm gonna try to do something.
Don't want to go nowhere else.
Right.
Hey, I mean, yeah,
I'm
you
gonna try
know.
my best to provide. So I'll say yeah every time. But I feel like you will have more to say on it.
Oh
than I
my
would.
gosh.
I tend to want it more. I ain't even kept to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a demon. I don't.
Fresh out the gym.
Hey, look. Oh my
Y'all go to
gosh.
the gym, y'all can't relate. You get pumping the mirror, you like, man, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah, you feeling good too?
Business, man.
Yes, sir.
You get home. Like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Be like that too.
The problem is he goes to the gym every day. Every single day. No days off.
Hey,
Dang.
gotta lose sometimes.
there you go. Man.
So Brittany got to be ready every day.
Hey, y'all, right? Like, what is going on?
Hey, when you go to the gym every day, it does boost your testosterone.
Especially
So,
getting legs.
yeah, legs actually. Oh, well.
I'm just saying the extra cardio, you can do that in the gym too. You can, run that out.
No,
You can run that
not
out.
necessary.
Nah,
I mean, real talk your stuff, lady.
I mean, it's not really much to talk. I don't like some people are where they can do that, where they can want to do it every single day. I'm not that person, and I don't know if that's something that just came about or just what. I feel like when I went through my healing journey, I just kind of got more reserved in when I went through of certain traumas and certain things that's happened to me. And after healing from it, I realized that portion of my life kind of stemmed from that. So I don't know if that's something I'm still working through or what. So I don't really crave it or really want to do it often at all, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Now it's great. Don't get me wrong. Look, I ain't gonna say too much because I don't want nobody to get no ideas about what I did. I'm just saying it's definitely great. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think my cravings changed.
How big of a deal you think sex plays in a marriage?
Go ahead, baby.
Like, if we all think of it, no one actually like sits down and talk about it. Like when they prep you for marriage and stuff, no one talks about sex part, but it definitely plays a factor. But how big of a factor does it play? Because if you don't get it, either both sides? Are you feeling a certain way? Is like how big of a factor does it play?
For me, it's important, but for me, it's not at the top of the list. It's not like I don't even know if I would say. Nah, I'd probably be in the top 3, but I would say it might even just be number 3 for me. Like it's important, but it's not like
Everything.
yeah.
Mm.
How about you, love?
Hey, somebody.
For me personally, I feel like all those other things lead you to great sex. So you need to have that love, that communication, that spend time together, that bonding, that
Yeah, that's good.
going through stuff. All that builds to having,
Yeah.
the sex. But if you just prioritize sex and you
All the other
second
stuff
tier,
lacking, yeah.
it makes that a lot worse, because when you have been with somebody else that you're doing somebody else that wasn't your wife, or just anybody else in general, it's a lot different because you don't have that connection that you have with your wife.
Oh, that's
That
good.
bond is
That's
way
really good.
different. That spiritual connection is way different as far as sex. So I think sex is definitely important, but those other things make the sex important.
That's good.
That's a
I
good
like
answer.
that.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
true.
That's a good
That's very
answer.
true.
I do a little something on the weekends, y'all. Leave for y'all next, TED Talk, I'm out there.
Can't wait to this podcast and I'm saying
Long as it happens when the podcast
So last thing I want to ask y'all, now just a little bit of sex party is over. There's a sleepover that you guys wanted to talk about.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Brittany, let's talk about it, boo.
Brittany. Whoa.
My fault, boo.
I'm gonna lead y'all in.
Yeah, it'd be so hard or weird. It'd be so weird when we refer to each other by real names.
It feel like a cuss word to me. Like, whoa, who are you talking to me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it would say love or baby or
What are you
something.
saying precious for?
Right, like you upset? Is that
You don't
problem?
know like fresh. You don't know.
I don't like that. It's either love or baby
Yeah, I call her pressure. I'm trying to get her attention.
or wife.
Yeah, I say wife a lot. At work, I always say wife. Let these hoes know what's going on.
There you go.
Go ahead, bring it in, baby.
So yeah, we have this a little girls group type of thing, and we planning this sleepover.
For the law.
So we had a Bible study group. So last meetup, we said, let's have a Bible study. I mean, not a Bible study, sleepover for the girls. And Brittany's like, yeah, my house school and this. Oh, not that too much. My house school this and that, but she was like, but maybe I should ask my husband first. And we was like, yeah. And I think I said, like, he'll be alright. He'll be cool with it. I thought you'd be cool with it. But that's pretty much, the plan. So I asked today. I said, so Brittany, so what Rico say?
Rico, what you say?
What Rico's on?
No, I'm sorry, babe. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just checking. Why you want to keep it a bean?
You can keep it a bean. You can
All
keep it
right,
a
so what
buck.
really happened was, there I was, laying in bed.
Oh my gosh.
The scene.
No, I think I watched a YouTube video and I fell asleep.
Yes.
She hopped on my back and she like, boo. I was like, what's up, boo? Tell something. Precious and the girls want to have a sleepover. What you trying to do? I'm like, y'all can have a sleepover, whatever. And I went back to sleep. I'm like, cool. They having a sleepover. I make sure I'm out the house, or it's 2 rooms. I'll sleep in the garage or downstairs, or I'll sleep in the guest room. It's whatever. So she told us, I don't know. I'm like, you can do it. I'm like, it's cool. I'm like, I'll give y'all the house. It's whatever. I'll leave out. It's no big deal. You have your girls there. Y'all spend time together here. Get a couple drinks. It's whatever. I'll buy dinner. Let me know. She told us, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm like, well, don't tell them I'm the reason that's why you. I'm like, the person's gonna get me. I'm not the bad guy. I'm like, so she said, Now I'm gonna throw you under the bus. I don't know if she told you not, but that's the original story.
I did not say anything.
Well, that's
I literally been telling like, yeah, I think we're gonna have that Brittany house. I've been telling everybody that.
But my only thing was I have anxiety, so a lot of things started to go through my head, and we just moved into our place, so like we don't have a couch and we don't have certain things. We're still in the building stage, and I got to thinking like, well, the devil kind of creeped in at that point. I'm like, dang, like how would they feel about getting my place, and then seeing. Me not having a couch in here. Our guest room still got Rico's old bed from his mom's house. We have not, it doesn't look guest ready yet. So I'm just like, I don't want to come in and then I end up feeling something. And not saying that the girls would think anything about me because they don't even give off those type of vibes. It's just me internally. I don't want to feel a certain way about myself having somebody else come in my house look like that.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience on us. When people come over, you always have this nice idea where everybody's in the sleep. You have a nice little bed and some air mattresses, pillows, and everything else. You're never going to sleep at right on the floor.
Every time, yeah.
Probably in the living room, nowhere near where you got everything set up at.
What do you think? Like, yeah.
But I was like real bad. Like we got a full.
But it's a sleepover. You're not supposed to sleep in the bed, and y'all get your little.
Yeah, we gonna be together and stuff. Right.
Make a fort or some things.
I know.
I don't think when I slept with my cousin, I don't think we slept in the bed. We slept right where we were playing.
Every time,
yeah. You get your little blanket, put the bed blanket on the floor, and you get your own individual blanket, a pillow. You good.
We were trying to get together. We weren't about all that.
Guys fall asleep on the couch. But it's whatever.
My main issue just with me in general is I have anxiety and sometimes I have depression. I ain't never been scared to say those two, and I know those two about me. But one thing about it is my anxiety can heighten a lot to the point where it can scare me out of doing a lot of things. And it has. It scared me out of a lot of things. It scared me out of friendships, relationships, doing things, taking a step out on myself. Because I'm one of those people where I'd rather think about the worst possible thing and think about what may happen, the worst possible case scenario, so that way I'm prepared, but I end up scaring myself at the same time.
I can relate to that. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you guys want to touch up on? Ooh, I know it. Well, you did that just then.
What you got?
Nah, well, the way I just phrased that, I say anything else to touch up on, and she looked at me like,
"Ooh,
it's not doing that."
Yeah.
Well, anything else you guys want to touch up on? Oh, my fault. My bad.
Oh, they're gonna keep the cameras on.
That's your thoughts.
Dang.
Oh,
I can't think of nothing else. Y'all, this is really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed y'all.
Yeah.
It's definitely exciting to see like different perspectives.
Yeah.
Like,
This is good.
That's definitely some stuff I can use when we leave here to help with my own marriage.
Yeah, hand covered to a ceiling fan, and just turn that jank on.
Handcuffed to the ceiling fan is insane.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
Yeah, she going around in the circle.
Oh man, going crazy, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, a little bit turned to a little more.
Hey.
Well, all right, guys, this was amazing. Thank you so much, Rico and Brittany, the Hatchet family, for coming on. And as usual, we love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. God is great. And what else is it? What else is there?
We love y'all.
I